What can I say? Jake, I love when you guys eat hot, and rightfully so. Celebrate your victories. My goodness. There are enough times you get kicked in the teeth just the way it is. And it was my feeling that today the shorts would probably do best to be conservative and stay sidelined and let it play out. It just seemed telegraphed. So I said the bias I had was long side, and who knows, I could be totally wrong, but it just felt like this was smoke 'em Charlie. So the megaphone pattern is played out. The only traders who have a right to short, in my mind, are those who have made profits already. A primary target that we had today was 51.75 into 52.75. We can go to any day high on a breakout. So there are several breakouts that we want to remember going forward. The first and tightest one to us right now is this 46.5. Okay, that was last year's high, and there was a gap there. Because it's silly not to think that we can't have backing and filling either today, tomorrow, the next day, whenever. So you want to remember these ideas. The next idea we had was last year's settle was 41. That's been taken care of. And thirdly, we said 37 to 75 is this year's open, and we want to be aware of that. So in my opinion, the high odds targets today, I'm suggesting, are between that 51 to 53 zone. And anything above that is good fortune. And that's just part of the way the dynamics will play out. So if you want to trade short side and scalp short, you've earned that right with profits. But just in my opinion, the wind is at the back of the longs. Probably going to be a very challenging day for the short side to get much. And I said, let's use 42 as our support for now, with the understanding of our trade dynamics, that would be our support in an attempt for this rotation right here at 46.5, once that broke, to try to stretch up and get the next targets in here. So that trade is also played out. And our deeper targets that we've talked about, there still are upside targets on them once you get a breakout, but sometimes you need to, the hardest couple of points of those last few you want. So everything we talked about on Friday is coming together today, and we said this morning when we're talking was that let's remember Friday's conversation, that what they've really done is smoked out and knocked out all the wannabe longs for option X, and then regained that territory, and now they're going to go without those traders if they're not aggressive. So, and that's the purpose of this kind of a trade. It's sneaky Pete. But once that's done, then all these traders are now out, and then at the open, most traders are who don't understand these trade dynamics. They're saying, okay, lower high, lower low. We're going to come down here. We're going to go back down in this zone. You could be right, but our belief was no. We're going this way, and that takes some courage for traders to believe in this after options X, but my feeling, after options X, a lot of times they'll do a sneaky peek. They won't give it to you, but then they'll have plenty of time to make the adjustments after option X. So I love this trade today. I think this is a very smart way to see this trade. And as such, that's what we talked about over here. You could see this formation right here. We had regained this 34. So that's why 34 was support at the open. And let's go back in. I'll complete the spreadsheets. We already know, from Friday where our target is into the higher 50s. And then obviously let's go back in and look at the MM setup. Okay, so I think shorts are in trouble, and I'm not going to recommend shorting on a day like today. But, you know, it's easier, like I said, to just sit with a trailer, and if you get stopped out, accept it. That's all. Because most traders won't understand today's dynamics. It's squeeze, and then maybe at the end of the day we'll get a small pullback because it's a breakout day. And primary target 51.75 to 52.75. Get above that, good fortune. You got 54.5, 58.5. Thank you, Zeke. I had that 57.5 was the big target we talked about from Friday. So we'll see. I don't know if we can get there today, but certainly on the radar now. So if we get above the 52s, then good fortune, in my opinion, today, you know, on a one-day basis. Thank you, Zeke. And understood clearly. Zeke using the system. Let's talk about that.